And welcome back to ESPN's college football presentation of the 2013 Gildan New Mexico Bowl from Albuquerque. It's the 8th edition of this bowl game, and at halftime, Washington State out of the Pac-12 leading the Mountain West Conference Colorado State Rams 35-23. I'm Mark Jones alongside Brock Huard. From all of us at ESPN to all of you at home, season's greetings. We have Jessica Mendoza down on the sidelines. We'll hear from her in just a moment. Brock, at the top of the show, we talked about Mike Leach and his high-powered offense, high-powered passing attack. They've done just what we expected them to do in the first half. The challenge was for the Rams to slow them down a little bit. Your assessment so far?
Yeah, Coach Leach talked about just the progressive nature of this offense and how it's evolved this season, how the quarterback has gotten better and better each week. And he was red hot in that first half with 5 touchdown passes. And for Colorado State, frankly, to be within 12 points, multiple turnovers, blocked punt, critical penalties. I think if you're Jim McElwain, you're somewhat satisfied of still being within earshot, you know, with as many mistakes as they've made offensively.
Yeah, let's take a look at our Vonage game track. And the start of the game was a little unsettling for both sides as we saw blocked punt there. We saw an interception by each team in their opening series to begin the game. And then the playmaker there, Dayon Buchanan, with an interception for Washington State. And the Cougars really got untracked after that.
But look at Holiday. Look at the amount of space in the pocket. And when you give him that kind of room to get comfortable, he makes you pay. The only time that Colorado State has gotten the Cougars off the field is when they blitz, when they've gotten after Connor, when they've hit him a bit. But he's got 5 touchdown passes right now. And if I know Mike Leach the way I think I know him, he's going to continue to call those pass plays. He's going to continue to be aggressive as he was at the end of the first half. Instead of running the ball and making Colorado State utilize its last time out, nope, he was pass, punt it back. Colorado State gets 3 on the board. Wazoo will continue to be aggressive, and for Colorado State, Bibbs has got to continue to fight through that turf toe.
There was a little bit of confusion at the end of the first half. We're going to bring in Steve Shaw, our head of SEC officials, to explain what happened at the end of that. Steve?
Yeah, so the question was there a timeout left for Colorado State? And there was. The scoreboard was wrong. Each official has a game card. They keep up with the timeout. So there was 1 timeout left. They called it with 1 second and then kicked the field goal.
All right. Thus we have 35-23, and Colorado State with a chance to get some more points on the board to start the second half. Garrett Grayson, their starting quarterback.
And Mark, that's why those points going into half were really so critical. You're still down 12. It doesn't minimize all the mistakes you made in the first half, but you just feel good going in, knowing, hey, you ran 55 plays, over 300 yards of offense for the Rams in the first 30 minutes of play. Plenty to feel good about. You also know you can't make some of those same mistakes here in the second half.
Bibbs, who's been struggling with turf toe in this game, made a nice cut despite of it and makes it out to the 27-yard line. Gain of 2 on the play. Brock, we saw the Rams in the second quarter in particular keep that Washington State offense where it needs to be for them to be successful. That's on the sidelines. How'd they do it for the most part?
That's the only way they're going to win this game. There's no way they're going to win this game in a shootout kind of fashion. They're going to win it by out-possessing Washington State here in the second half and really limiting the opportunities for an offense that's taken advantage of their defense.
Grayson completes the pass to Lovett. Lovett already has a touchdown catch. Flag down on the play as Lovett is brought down a yard shy of the first down. That's Nauta, who's shaken up for Washington State.
Chop block, offense, number 70 to 64 in a high-low combination. The penalty is 15 yards from the previous spot. Repeat, second down.
And you really hate to see this, and this call is in play because you don't want these defensive linemen to take this kind of shot that Nauta takes.
Wane Nauta, number 95, got double teamed.
Yes, and the key is here, he is engaged with the right guard, Gregert. He's engaged when you see the center, Richburg, come in. That is the chop block. That is an absolute no-no. And that's at least a positive that Nauta is walking off on his own power. That rule is in place to protect defensive linemen.
Yeah, those can be lethal hits. 2nd and 23 after the penalty. Back to the 13. It's Bibbs. Up back and makes it out to the... Oh, no gain on the play. Got back to the line of scrimmage. Let's go downstairs to Jessica.
Well, Jim McElwain told his team at half, is it really them or is it us? He said, we are beating ourselves. It isn't that they are more talented. He also said Kapri Bibbs, even though he is not 100%, he said he can still beat these guys even at 80%. He's going to be able to be successful this second half.
And unfortunately, Jess, to that point, that chop block, 7th penalty of the game, and now puts you in a 3rd and 22, hurting yourself.
Here's the screen. But not enough yards. Alexander on the catch and run, and they'll have to punt here on 4th down. So that chop block penalty really proved to be a factor on that opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
And Richburg should know better, making his 50th start of his career, and he's trying to be physical, but once Nauta is engaged, you cannot go below the waist.
Hunt with the punt. And not a great effort by him. Stops at about the 42-yard line, and that's going to give Washington State good starting field position on their opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Just a 22-yard punt. Halliday ready to go to work. Well, on Thursday, members of both teams paid a visit to sick and injured children at the University of New Mexico Children's Hospital here in Albuquerque, lifting their young spirits. The hospital is New Mexico's only dedicated to children's hospital, providing the most advanced neonatal and pediatric care in the state. A great time for everybody involved, and it's part of the rewarding experiences that the player in this bowl gets a chance to enjoy. 1st down and 10 for the Cougars here, opening drive of the 3rd. Little reverse. Williams and met right near the line of scrimmage. Shaquille Barrett was there to say hello. Gain of 1 on the play. Second and 9 coming up. Halliday taking a shot. Incomplete, out of the arms of Myers. Just a little bit long and strong on that.
Yeah, and that body language says it all right there. Tremendous read. This is once again knowing exactly where everybody is, where your one-on-one is. Colorado State moves the safeties up near the line of scrimmage, has every opportunity, and that's just inches. Inches away from being, inches away from being the 6th touchdown pass already today.
3rd and 9. Halliday over the middle, completes it this time for the 1st down to Craycraft. River Craycraft, the freshman, a true freshman, picking up 14.
Look at the anticipation on a 3rd down. Once again, now you've got 2 safeties. I know I don't got the deep shot. I'm going to throw it right underneath that safety to move the chain. Just a tremendous awareness and even better anticipation there to move the sticks.
They're in West in the backfield, a 4-receiver formation. Big slant complete. Actually, they're going to say that's incomplete, low. Gabe Marks, leading receiver, couldn't scoop that one off the turf. 2nd down and 10. There's a quarterback, Connor Halliday, right there, coached by his father as a kid up through high school, extremely confident, and we saw some of that swag, some of that temerity on display early in the game. After that touchdown, he had a few words for the opposing bench.
Ruling on the play was an incomplete pass. The previous play is under further review.
All right, so Gabe Marks may or may not have caught that last pass.
Yeah, that's incomplete.
That hit the ball. That hit the...
There'll be a quick ruling there, but as fast as these teams play, and in chatting with Bob Davis, I enjoyed that conversation with your former colleague for 5 years in this booth. And we talked about tempo as well. And as a defensive guy like Bob is, that tempo has played such a huge role and complicating and making defense difficult.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Pass is incomplete.
And not easy for
down.
these guys in stripes either sometimes with as fast as these teams want to play.
Do you think tempo and the speed of the game is hurting the quality of college football right now?
Well, it depends. It's not hurting offense. You're seeing the most prolific offenses this game has ever seen.
Is it bastardizing the game a little bit?
I think therein is the challenge. As Nick Saban said to us earlier this year, that football is not meant to be a continuous sport. I think there's a great debate there.
Out of backfield complete to West. West with another nice move and a dynamic run by Theron West for the first down. Boy, he's made some nice plays today.
And this is a guy with just one rush, 1 yard all season long. But Mike Leach said there were a few Cougars in bowl prep that really stood out. Isaiah Myers was one. Theron West was another. He has the block punt. And just his little edge, his little speed has provided a spark here today for Washington State.
First down from the 18-yard line of Colorado State. Halliday on the fade, incomplete, intended for Myers. And Myers going man-to-man down there along the sidelines. And now he looks like he's shaken up a little bit.
Tough to call there, tough to say.
Halliday hands it off to West. And West trying to keep that pile moving. Got 7. So third down coming up for Washington State.
It almost looks like a shoulder, doesn't it? As he was hand fighting there was Myers on that fade route.
He's been a hot receiver for them lately, too. Cougars 4 of 7 on third down so far today. Into the end zone, incomplete. And Halliday a little displeased with the result there.
Yeah, that's Craycraft, unfortunately, on a corner route. Fades, corners, such a big part of this offense. Have everything you want, unlike maybe the deep go route that was just off, or the post route to Myers. That one's on the money. That one you throw to a spot, you're throwing right to the boundary, counting on Craycraft to get there. And unfortunately for Halliday, he doesn't get his 6th touchdown. He'll have to turn to Fernie for 3.
And they're going to blow the whistle down on the field.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 77, 5-yard penalty. It remains 4th down.
They're going to move it back a little bit after that near miss by River Craycraft on the pass from Halliday. From 33 yards out now, Andrew Fernie. 15-19 on the season and knocks this one through as well. There's a look at Halliday talking to his receiver Craycraft. You're a quarterback. That reaction you saw on the sidelines, is it all good now? Because I'm not so sure about that reaction by Halliday after Craycraft was unable to make the catch on a catchable ball. Did he show him up there?
Well, first of all, your verbiage is wrong. I'm not a quarterback. I was, kind of.
Oh,
Some even question that.
Oh, now
okay?
you never played quarterback. Okay.
See this
All
talking
right.
a little smack just like he does. No, I think what's important there, Mark, is that conversation. And yeah, this is who Connor Halliday is. And there's some frustration there. But what I don't see is him pointing and running down and barking. Yeah, he's upset. You know, I think he's frustrated. But this is a guy that plays with a little bit of an edge. You've seen it really. If you want to talk about any growth and development in his game, that may be front and center. I mean, that's who he is. That first touchdown and going and talking smack to the Colorado State sidelines. I think players respect the fact that that's who he is.
All in. Yep.
Well, remember McElwain yesterday telling us that the piece of advice that Nick Saban gave him was you've got to be who you are. And for Connor Halliday, as he's grown in his 18 starts, he's a guy that's going to be emotional. He's going to wear it on his sleeve. His team knows it. His coaches know it. And some of that swagger is what this offense plays to.
Right now doing a good job today with 15-point lead. Well, Capital One Bowl Week on ESPN continuing Monday with the Beef O'Brady's Bowl. Tyler Tettleton leads Ohio against Shane Carden in East Carolina. That's Ohio, East Carolina in the Beef O'Brady's Bowl, part of Capital One Bowl Week. Monday at 2 on ESPN, also live on WatchESPN.com and the Watch ESPN app. This is the third ever meeting between these two schools. East Carolina winning the prior matchups, the last one in 1998. First down and 10 for the Rams, coming back the other way. Bibbs in the backfield. You'd imagine it'd be a little frustrating for Bibbs today. Nice run. Breaks one over the right side. Does he have enough to take off? Bibbs kicks it into another gear. He's got it. Touchdown, Rams. Turf toe. Okay.
You want to know why you continue to slam the ball in there and it's 2 yards and it's 5 yards and it's 2 yards? Because once you hit one little crease and you get an All-American into the open field, he shows you that his gear is better than the rest.
Their big-time playmaker. Now just an extra point from making it a one-touchdown game, and that's what it is. Capri Bibbs. 75-yard burst. Doing it on a bad toe, turf toe. Well, he put toe to turf and was gone. Back after this.
The 2013 Gildan New Mexico Bowl is brought to you by Albuquerque. It's a trip. The Quicksilver card from Capital One. Earn 1.5% cash back on every purchase. And Jake Owen's new album, Days of Gold, in stores now.
Well, a popular tourist destination here in Albuquerque, the Sandia Peak Tramway, the world's third longest single-span tramway, stretching about 3 miles almost, 2.7 miles from edge of the city to the crest line of the mountains, and a glorious view. And look who's running into the training room. Not sure you want to see that after that great, marvelous run a moment ago by Bibbs. But he's moving okay.
He's got to readjust that steel toe.
That's a pretty good readjustment. But Bibbs and Dayon Buchanan, what a showdown it's been between those two impact guys today.
That was a fourth down. That was a 4th-and-1 play. And then unfortunately for Buchanan, the conference's leading tackler, the team's leading tackler the last 2 years, you don't see that very often, where he's going to duck his head there and Bibbs is going to make him and the Cougar defense pay. You're talking about a first-team Associated Press All-American, second-team Walter Camp All-American, 15 career interceptions added to that today. A guy that's going to play at the next level, but they count on him of securing that run game on the back end, and he doesn't do it there.
Halliday under duress gets rid of it, incomplete at the 25-yard line, intended for West. And this Colorado defense has the offense a little disjointed, at least a little bit. Bibbs, Buchanan, big part of our impact players in our storyline.
Game within the game.
And Buchanan, you talked about his accolades, thought to be one of the top defensive backs at his position drafted in the upcoming draft.
Well, and that is usually his strength. I mean, his strength is finishing tackles. Just lost a couple of them to Bibbs today.
Fumble, West put it on the ground. It's loose. And the Cougars got the football back. For one of the few times that you'll ever see the Cougars run it, West fumbled it. Yeah, it came loose.
Yeah, that was Terry Jackson, 93, with the contact there on West. But even the handoffs, even the run game, just look unorthodox at times because they do so little of it.
3rd and 4. The momentum slowly swinging in the Rams' favor. The defense could do him a big favor with a stop here. Halliday to the outside, throws a dart complete to Maley. Vince Maley picks up 9 in the first down. And that little smirk, that smile on Halliday's face tells you about his confidence making this throw.
One quick little adjustment. You're going to see Maley right before the snap here adjust his split. And that allowed him the room to catch that and have the space to get his feet in. Just subtle little adjustments this team makes. It's spread, it's shotgun, it all looks the same at times, but it's the little minutia that helps create some of that separation.
1st and 10. Halliday one-on-one, incomplete. Intended for Ricky Galvin, maybe their fastest receiver.
How much fun would this offense be to play quarterback? I mean, it's almost like 7-on-7.
Yeah.
In essence, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to take that defensive line out of the game. The splits are one part of it. I mean, look at Washington State's offensive linemen and the splits. Look at how far these edge rushers have to get to Connor Halliday, and then it's just the whole board is open to you wherever you want to go.
Pass complete to the edge. That's Dom Williams this time. Picked up about 3 on the play. You talked about it, and if you're just joining us, we mentioned it earlier. Connor Halliday initially a couple of years ago surprised at how little Coach Leach actually called. He said, Coach may give me the formation about 70% of the time, but it's up to me to actually call the play on the field.
Yeah, that's because the play sheet, look at it in his left hand. Compare that to John Gruden's back in the day, right?
That's a miniature grocery list. 3rd and 7. Caught and complete for the first down. Boy, what a grab by Gabe Marks. Got 8. And used that sideline well. One more look. Got that 1 foot in bounds. Gabe Marks. Check that. That's Myers.
Couple big 3rd down conversions. Colorado State plays good defense on the early downs. Wazoo Halliday in particular making the plays on 3rd down.
Halliday completes it to Craycraft. And safe to say with that catch, they've made up, right, Brock? 22-yard gain. No more mean mugging your receiver after he drops a pass.
No, Connor's not going to be in any way hesitant to continue to spread the ball around. 10 different Cougs coming into this game with 25 or more receptions, and you're seeing that distribution once again today to everybody across the field.
On 1st and 10, a lot of time to pass it. Complete near the 20-yard line. That was Marks. Gabe Marks with the catch.
Coach Davies said something to us when he sat in here in the 2nd quarter. He said field goals. You want to know? Keep an eye on something throughout this game. The fact that Colorado State held Wazoo to a field goal in that last possession, getting down into this red zone. If Colorado State, Mark, is going to come out of here with a victory today against this offense, you have got to find a way to hold them to 3 down here.
2nd and 4. Halliday sacked back at the 33-yard line. Corey James knifing through that front to make the hit. And it's 3rd and long coming up now.
You're going to see Colorado State, the inside linebacker, crowds that wide split, crowds the gap, and because of that, you had to squeeze. You saw Folington, the right tackle, when he got that thread inside, they squeezed down, and that allows James to be unblocked and finish on the sack.
His 7th sack of the season, a huge one. 3rd and 15. They've got to get down to the 12, the 11 for the first down. Backside pressure, and they got him again. And a fumble. The ball came loose, but they're going to say it was down first. Corey James with his 2nd consecutive sack, and Halliday shaken up a little bit. Getting up slow, and that took them effectively out of field goal range all the way back at the 41-yard line. Back-to-back big plays by the Ram defense, Brock.
Well, once again, that's just a little adjustment. You're going to bring your linebackers in, so you force the line to come down, and that time you have a running back there to pick up the edge rusher, but not good enough. Yeah, and it did look like Holiday's back hit the ground there as the ball comes out. You love the adjustments. You love the little chess match.
Got a flag down on the field.
Prior to the snap, delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
But not only did they hold them, they were hoping to hold them to a field goal. They got even more out of it defensively. And now
exactly
Bolin
right.
will punt. Coming from his own 40. We're on the 20-yard line at one point. This one will come down right around the 20-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10 after the 26-yard punt. Well, Capital One Bowl Week continues tonight on ESPN. 2 more games. Buffalo taking on San Diego State in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. Then at 9, Tulane, Louisiana Lafayette in the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl. Capital One Bowl Week tonight on ESPN, also live on Watch ESPN. And if you haven't seen Khalil Mack of Buffalo, might want to tune into that one. 1st and 10. And the way things were going in the second quarter, who would have thought that Colorado State would be as close as they are right now? Donnell Alexander, though, in the backfield. Bibbs, we saw him leave the field a moment ago. Not in the game. Play action. Shot up top. Contact and incomplete. No flag. Broken up by Nolan Washington, working against Jordan Vaden. And Bibbs now coming back onto the field. Here's one more look.
That's a good call. I mean, that's the absolute right call. You've got to have and give these defenders a chance, Mark, to allow them to fight back to the ball. Now, does he have his hands on him a little bit? Yes, he does. Does it impede the receiver from going up and making a play on the ball? No, it doesn't. Those DBs have to have an opportunity to have a little bit of contact, a little bit of a shot at the ball. As long as it doesn't get in the way of the receiver, you can't throw the flag every time.
Racing over the middle, complete. That was Vaden, went right back to him. Brought down by Casey Locker, a 5-yard gain on the play. Setting up a 3rd down now for Colorado State. They've been able to seize back some of the momentum as Bibbs comes back onto the field. And what a huge part of their offense he is. A 75-yard touchdown run the last time he touched it.
You know what he is a threat. And sometimes, not only the execution in the long touchdown run, but just sometimes having that threat to affect a defense in their eyes and their concentration can be just as critical.
They've been right around 50% on 3rd down today. Looking at 3rd and 5. Grayson takes off, got the 1st down at the 33-yard line. Garrett Grayson doing it with his legs. Picks up 8.
You mentioned 3rd downs. 3rd downs allows you to possess the ball. 3rd downs, when you convert them, allows you to give Bibbs more opportunities. And when you want to look at one number this year in particular in their wins and their losses, take a look at that. 55% of the time moving those sticks, that's winning football. And then the losses, well, you see the struggle to stay on the field.
1st down and 10 for the Rams. A win against the Pac-12's Cougars would be a marquee win for them this year. Bibbs back in the game on the job. Picks up about 3, close to 4 yards on that one. Bibbs, if you're just joining us, a junior college transfer out of high school in Illinois, went to Snow Junior College. Then that followed a short stint at Front Range College near Fort Collins. A program that didn't even have, they didn't have football at the school. And then came into camp and beat out the 2 incumbents for the starting job. And what a season he's had. Ran for 1,572 yards this year. 2nd and 6. The screen. Bibbs. Got the 1st down. Showing his receiving skills. Picks up 7, Brock.
And that's not been a big part of his offense this year. That's just his 8th reception on the year. And you watch in the years to come, especially within this system, that screen game, Jim McElwain's so good at Alabama with it. And those are the other little parts. Pass protection, the receiving game. That's why he's not in there on every down. That and his toe today that he's fighting through.
1st and 10. Coach McElwain in his second year building it from the ground up. This would be a signature win for them early in his tenure. The pass complete to the edge. Vaden getting a lot of work, and he fumbled it. The Cougars recover it. A costly error that time for Colorado State. Paolo recovering the loose ball. And that is a killer for the Rams.
Well, doesn't that go back to exactly what Coach McElwain told Jess Mendoza coming out of half? Yes, DeMonte Horton makes the play, as he's done so often this year for Washington State. He's got 3 pick sixes, and he's a ball hawk, and he goes in there and he executes and he punches. But it's the turnovers, it's the penalties. It's not doing the little things that if you're Colorado State, you know you've got to do, but tip your cap there to Horton. That's all fundamentals, technique, and the senior taking advantage.
Yeah, that wasn't an accident, was it?
No.
He was trying to punch that out. 4:13 to go. Third quarter. Holiday was looking downfield, comes underneath to Mason, his running back. And Mason stopped up. Brock, while Mason makes the catch in a receiving capacity, if you're a running back and your offense runs it only 25% of the time, why would you go to Washington State as a big-time recruit?
Well, I don't know if a Bibbs is going to go to a Washington State, a Capri Bibbs. But if you're Marcus Mason, if you're a scat back, if you're like so many that Mike had at Texas Tech, that's an in-between, it's really a third down back, well, you have no other system, no better system to showcase your versatility than this one as a back.
Here he is again. Marcus Mason on the catch.
There's a 4-star guy that wants 20 touches a game. Is he going to go to Washington State? No, more than likely not. But Mike Leach also knows, are you going to get that guy over Oregon, USC, UCLA in your conference, Stanford? No, you're going to recruit to your style, your system, and find that scat back that fits perfectly within it.
Meanwhile, looking at second down and a long 8.
So I'll check with me here what Connor Halliday is seeing that secondary in particular doing.
They call the run. Mason, they string him out. Couldn't square those shoulders and get north-south. That's going to be a loss of about 3 yards on the play. So 3rd and about 11. Oden with a nice stick.
Now take a look at the last couple passing situations. When I talk about those splits and those linemen having to come down and squeeze, when you got a linebacker lined up right in that gap, you see that? Those guys have to come down and squeeze, protect from the inside out. And that's both left free runners and the linebackers on running backs. Watch this third down. Wouldn't be surprised at all to see a very similar scheme.
There's a look at Shaquille Barrett, the Defensive Player of the Year in the Mountain West. Downfield and incomplete. And it's 4th down, so Colorado State's defense gets the win here. That pass intended for Myers. So Washington State unable to capitalize on the fumble recovery. And with 2:27 to go in the period, you know, it's a situation where Halliday had gotten hot for a while and then now has missed on his last couple of passes. He had hit his last 6. Nice decoy by Joe Hansley on the 54-yard punt. 1st and 10. Coming back the other way when we come back.
Visit WatchESPN.com or download the Watch ESPN app to watch ESPN live anytime, anywhere. Brought to you by Vizio.
The annual Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta takes place every October. The world's largest hot air balloon festival. Yes, considered to be the most photographed event in the world. Spectators can see hundreds of balloons in the sky at one time. Next year's Balloon Fiesta, October 4th to 12th. Brock Huard promises to go up into a balloon like he did yesterday. 1st down and 10. Colorado State seizing some of the momentum here. Grayson on the run. Fires complete. Catch and then some to Hansley. Let's go back to that last incompletion that Washington State threw and bring in Steve Scharr, supervisor coordinator of SEC officials. Steve, what happens here?
Well, here's where our new targeting rule is really helping. In the past, this player would have probably come in and delivered a hard blow right above the shoulders to that receiver. But here you can see he actually pulls off, doesn't take that shot, and it's a player safety thing. Good job by the player.
And great intent by the rule to see the effect that it's having. That was Bibbs on the run. Bibbs getting about 3 on the play. Colorado State driving for the tie here on 2nd down and 5 with about 1.5 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
How about 67 plays for Colorado State, not even in the 4th quarter, and even more importantly, 34 runs to 33 passes. Tremendous balance.
Bibbs now in motion, splits out into the boundary. Grayson scrambles and picks up about 2. Let's go back to Chris in the studio. Chris?
Mark, over on ABC, the Royal Purple Las Vegas Bowl. USC already up 14-6 driving here. Cody Kessler's going to find Nelson Aguilar now. Originally ruled incomplete. They went back and reviewed it, said he had control and that 1 foot inbound. So his 2nd touchdown catch of the day, and it's 28-6 right now. Trojans on top of the Bulldogs over on ABC. Mark?
Right, 3rd down and 3. Got to keep the drive alive. They run a handoff. That's Cartwright. Boy, big crunk cover. The H-back using a lot of different ways. And literally a big weapon for them. And he got enough for the 1st down.
Yeah, that's actually the 4th time this year he has ran it. You see Daryl Monroe there, middle linebacker, 6'1", 235 for the Cougs, 6'4", 245 for Colorado State. In a formation that looks like pass, and you're expecting the H-back out of the backfield, and instead, well, they hit it right up the gut. And once again, you point to those 3rd downs. Been very effective today for the Rams.
Cartwright in motion. Little receiver screen complete to Vaden. And Vaden flushed out of bounds. Right near that line of scrimmage. Vaden was the guy that fumbled on the last possession as they were driving deep into Washington State territory. 5 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. 2nd down and 10 for Colorado State.
Well, the scoring has slowed a little, hasn't it? A game of adjustments. You have a 3-week layoff. Yeah, you can practice, you can rep it all you want, but you got to get out on that field. You got to feel your opponent, what he wants to do to you. Some good adjustments on both sides leads to what's going to be, I think, a very compelling 4th quarter.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter of play. Washington State leading 38-30. One of these teams hoping to roll on down to their next win this season. 15 minutes to go from Albuquerque. 15 minutes to go here at the 2013 edition of the Gildan New Mexico Bowl. Let's take a look at today's storyline, brought to you by Kay Jewelers. 35 first half points. That's a bowl record. A couple of interceptions, blocked punt, and Halliday with 5 touchdown passes, a bowl record. But it's Colorado State right now with the momentum and the football. 2nd and 10. The screen. And dissected well. Cartwright with nowhere to go. Let's go downstairs to Jessica.
Well, guys, true freshman receiver Rashard Higgins is out for the game. He has a deep contusion in his chest. He's had a hard time breathing. So it looks like Colorado State's going to have to try to do this comeback without their top receiver.
He's arguably their most explosive player. 3rd and 10. What do you like on the call here, Brock? Real quick.
You better protect first and foremost and give Grayson an opportunity to use his athleticism, which paid dividends today.
Gilmore in motion. Off to the left. Looks the other way and fires high. Not even close. Jordan Vaden was the closest receiver. And they'll have to punt it here on 4th down coming up.
Yeah, it was one thing in that wild first half where you couldn't stop Washington State to go for it in your end of the field. It's quite another now. With 14 minutes to go, your defense is getting after Washington State. They've scored just 3 points here in the 2nd half. This is the right decision, and as I say it, well, be alert for the fake.
Hayden Hunt standing on his own 33-yard line for the Rams. It's off a high spiral that travels through the back of the end zone. 52 yards an hour. It'll come back out. Well, this week on ESPN's Monday Night Football, it's a night of farewell as the Falcons take on Colin Kaepernick and the 49ers in the last regular season game at Candlestick Park. Wow. Falcons 49ers Monday Night Football 8:25 ESPN, also live on Watch ESPN. Coverage begins Monday Night Countdown at 6:30.
He's been a lot better on Monday night than he's been on Sunday night against Seattle a couple times. But yeah, Kaepernick's found a little rhythm. Getting Crabtree back. San Francisco's hitting their stride. The NFC West, I don't think there's any argument. The best division in football.
If you're a player, are you happy to see Candlestick go?
Yes.
Okay.
If you've ever been there or broadcasted there, you would be as well. But I mean, there's great memories. There's no doubt about that. But it was time to find a new home.
1st and 10. Pass complete over the middle. That's Craycraft. River Craycraft, the true freshman, with another catch today.
I don't think you're going to see a lot of runs. They've had some negative runs here in the second half. I think you're going to put this fourth quarter in his hands, and you can see some of the body language there waving off the sidelines. To me, do what you do best here when the game's on the line and the game really matters, and that's Holiday and his ability to distribute.
2nd and 1, pass complete. Again, it's Craycraft. Let me ask you this, Brock. In this offense that throws it 75% of the time, when you're faced with being methodical and burning a little bit of clock, how do you do that now?
Well, this is how you do it right here. You just find some of those completions that Colorado State is going to give you in their zone defense, but it will not stop them. They will not slow down. That's just not who they are. They've got one touchdown or scoring drive of over 5 minutes this year. Colorado State has 11 on the other side, so you don't get out of who you are.
Holiday on the move, had all day to pass it. Downfield and incomplete, intended for Isaiah Myers. And now it's 2nd down and 10.
And that was some of the conversation, frankly, downstairs at halftime with some of the different Cougar folks and fans. Is there before half, with less than a minute to go, Colorado State just one timeout. Why not just run the clock out and don't even give them a chance to score again? Well, that's not who Mike Leach is in any way. He's unapologetic about it. He's going to do it his way and continue to be aggressive.
They run the ball. Caldwell with one of the few carries for him today. DeAndre Caldwell, a former high school teammate of Gabe Marks in Los Angeles.
And this is all about the safeties, Mark. And take a look at these guys. And they've been trying to jack with Holiday and moving and showing different looks. But when those two safeties are 15 to 20 yards deep, it forces that call. I mean, you have to then run the ball to take advantage of the numbers advantage you have.
3rd and 3. And the Rams get another stop here. They've been doing it for the most part in the second half. Holiday, that back shoulder pass, complete. Caught by Gabe Marks. Boy, he put that right where it had to be.
Well, when you asked Mike Leach this year, when was it? When was the tipping point? You like to ask a lot of these coaches that question, rightfully so, Mark. And what did he say? There was no tipping point for Connor. It's just been a progression with these receivers. It's throwing it 700 times in a game, 7,000 times on a practice field. So when it's 3rd down, well, that's automatic between you and receiver, hitting the back shoulder and moving the sticks.
Holiday's completion percentage up big time this year, but sacked on that play at midfield. Terry Jackson breaking through for the sack. Can't say enough about this Colorado State defense in the second half, Brock.
No, this group up front here has provided the difference, and that's just Jackson one-on-one. That's no linebackers in the gap. There's nothing fancy about that. That's just beating, gets the right guard, more want-to, better technique, and creating a negative play. And these negative plays have been really what set Washington State's offense back here in the second half.
2nd and 17. Over the middle. It's River Craycraft with another catch. You see they're on the edge of field goal range, about 5 yards away right now, gain of 10. 3rd down coming up.
Those 3 points would be critical. And remember, Andrew Fernie, the senior for Wazoo, he put a 60-yarder through the uprights a season ago against Eastern Washington's got 4 50-yard field goals on his resume.
We are at a little bit of altitude, almost a mile high at 5,000 feet. Halliday with bowl records in both completions and attempts. Under heat, got it away in time, but short of the first down. That pass complete to Williams.
Now take a look at the flags, and you're going into this end zone, and that has been relentless, that win today, and that's why I think you're going to see Washington State not even attempt a field goal while you may be in range, especially going the other way if you were downwind.
Big play coming up. 4th and 3. Got rid of it quickly, found his receiver for the first down and then some. Williams again. A 15-yard gain for the first down.
And here's your game of adjustments. Here's Colorado State doing what? Walking right up into those gaps. What's your answer then? Well, instead of holding on to the ball, get it right out of your hands. Colorado State giving up way too much cushion there. But Mike Leach and his staff making some corrections. If they're going to get up in the gap, then we're going to hit them quick, and we're going to make them pay.
Halliday comes back the other way. It was running back Caldwell. Second touch of the game, that time a reception. Second down coming up. Caldwell losing 2 on the play.
And Mark, now you are in field goal range, and now you have to think about, if you play in this position, do not force the issue. Do not take some of those sacks, some of the negative plays. Do all you can to maintain this field position, because now you are certainly within striking distance of your kicker, Fernie.
Although nothing about Mike Leach says conservative. Halliday, wide open touchdown. Isaiah Myers. The 6th touchdown pass of the day for Connor Halliday, and that's a career high. And that puts the margin back to 2 touchdowns. Buys them a little bit more cushion. Laid back up to 15 points. Isaiah Myers, who's had a hot hand lately for the Cougars. Halliday with a bowl record 390 passing yards. Brock Huard, let's go back and look at that one touchdown. What was the key a moment ago?
Well, Mike Leach's whole system is predicated on creating space for his wide receivers. And look what you do 6 yards down the field. You create a stack alignment, and you start to put those secondary guys in a bind. And Kevin Pierre-Louis, he's trying to get back there. He's trying to fight all the way back across the field. He can't get it done. Again, it's the little details. Many times you'll see receivers getting a stack alignment before the snap mark. Well, based on that release, they get into that alignment 6 yards down the field, and it's the little nuances that have led the Pirate to so much success, so much productivity in the passing game over the years.
2 yards deep in a fumble by Kaufman, out of bounds. An egregious error by the Rams as we go back to Chris in the studio.
All right, Mark, a little bit better execution from USC in the Royal Purple Las Vegas Bowl. Here, Cody Kessler finding Marquise Lee. 40 yards for the score. How about the first half from Kessler? 243 yards and 4 touchdowns. They've gone to the half. It's all Trojans.
All right, Chris, back here. It'll be 1st and goal from the 2-yard line for Colorado State.
I just can't stop hearing Jim McElwain's words to Jess Mendoza coming out of halftime. We're just shooting ourselves in the foot, making some of these mistakes, the fumbles, the turnovers, the penalties, and just a killer there on the kickoff.
Check that. Obviously, it's not 1st and goal. It's first from the 2-yard line. But look at this gaffe by Kaufman on the kickoff return. Cooper jumped offside.
Offside by contact. Defense, number 96. 5-yard penalty. It remains. First down.
How does this happen, Brock?
Well, you could see the expression on Thomas's face here. He's a really good kickoff return. He's been very productive for him. He's a redshirt junior that's been in Fort Collins a long time, and I I thought his face coming off the field said it all. That just, what you said, that just can't happen.
Vaden makes the catch. Been dialing his number up a lot here in the second half. No gain on the play. Pritchard there to make the stop.
You just feel like this is one of those moments, don't you, with 9 minutes to go?
A little bit of a lull where
Well, you have got to find a first down. If you cannot get yourself out of your own end zone here, the fake punts and all that stuff that's open and available to you, some of that smoke and mirrors that Coach McElwain talks about, you can't do it. This is a critical set of downs.
second down and 6. Bibbs with a nice run, picked up about 4. It'll be 3rd and short coming up. Bibbs with that 75-yard touchdown run in the 3rd quarter. Well over 100 yards on the day.
He is going to be a nightmare next year for the Mountain West Conference. Now, he does lose 4 redshirt senior offensive linemen in front of him, but he's a difference maker in this conference.
21 rushes, 147 yards on the day, a couple of touchdowns. 3rd and 1. They dial him up again, and he gets the job done again. Picks up a couple for the first down. Second team All-American choice after putting up over 1,570 yards this year.
And if you're Washington State right now defensively, Dayon Buchanan, the rest of those guys in the secondary, you're willing to give up 4- and 5-yard runs, especially with that clock moving in this 4th quarter nearing the halfway mark. You want to keep everything in front of you at this juncture.
Pass incomplete. Vaden came out of his break and couldn't squeeze it. Stops the clock with 7:39 to go. Grayson to pass. Takes off and is brought down at the 17-yard line. So 3rd down coming up. After the 3-yard gain, about a 3rd and 7.
You can tell, can't you, just a little bit that Grayson really misses Higgins, his go-to guy, his leading receiver. 82, like so many of these Rams today are beat up, and for Higgins, he's done for the day. Grayson's got to find another answer.
Grayson on a predetermined quarterback run, not enough burst to get to the outside, and comes up short of the first down. 4th down coming up. Xavier Cooper made the stop on the play.
That's a really, really good play by Cooper. It doesn't look like much. Maybe on the stat sheet just looks like a tackle, but that's a QB draw. That's what a coach has to do when you don't have your weapons outside. And Cooper, by far, this group's best defensive lineman, led the team with 13 tackles for loss. And according to Mike Bresky, well, he thinks he has all the tools to play at the next level. He's really grown into that body, and that's a big-time play on 3rd down to get your defense off the field.
Leon Brooks back at his own 40 for this punt.
Timeout. Washington State. First timeout this half.
Mike Leach calls one of his timeouts, and we're going to keep close count of the timeouts here. Okay? That's one thing we're going to do. Chris, we do have a timeout, so we're going to go back to you in the studio. Back to you.
All right, let me use that timeout then to let folks know what we're going to do here on our ESPN networks for the bowl games coming up. Buffalo and San Diego State, a great opportunity to see Khalil Mack, NFL prospect linebacker. They're going to kick on ESPN News at 5:35. Then as soon as our game is over in Albuquerque, we'll switch it back over to ESPN. Mark?
All right, thanks a lot, Chris. Well, the emotion's running high on the field. We've seen it a couple of times today.
I like that call from Mike Leach, by the way. You're up 15 points. You've already seen a couple fake punts.
Is that a be ready timeout?
Well, yeah, you're just reminding everybody on that side of the ball that's going to be a safe defense. There's no doubt about it. You're going to just remind them, no matter what the circumstance is here, be aware of the unexpected.
Leon Brooks standing at his own 33-yard line. Up with the punt. A high spiral all the way back to the 23. Brooks with a nice cut. Flag down back at the 26-yard line. And Brooks brought down at about the 40. A 58-yard punt. 16 on the return, but Isaiah Myers is going to be flagged for a block in the back. That's what you always hear. Hey, if you can see the guy's numbers, leave him alone, right, Brock?
Yeah.
Isn't that the way it goes?
Yeah, I think so. And I think for those officials as well, when you see that player blocked in the back fall on his face, not to the side, but fall on his face, that's an easy call.
During the return, block in the back, receiving team, number 88. The penalty is 10 yards from the spot of the foul. It's first down.
Timeout on the field, and emotions running high. I got no problem with guys bumping their gums a little bit. Monroe telling Grayson, you know what? You can talk all you want, son, but look at the scoreboard.
The 2013 Gildan New Mexico Bowl is brought to you by Gildan. We make your new favorite activewear, underwear, and socks. Gildan, every thread counts. And Supercuts. Supercuts is all about cuts that rock. So come in now and rock the cut at Supercuts.
A great look at the topography and the breathtaking landscape here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. First down and 10 for Washington State. Caldwell on the carry. Had a couple of yards on the play. Mike Leach, his team looking for their 7th win of the season with a potential win here today. Mike Leach, the quirky, and I mean that in a flattering way, coach, personality-wise, has that infatuation with Pirates, and it was great. When we had a chance to talk to him on a conference call earlier this week, we asked him about going to New Mexico, and I'll tell you what he said after this play. 2nd and 8. Halliday running, stopped up short of the first down. When we asked him about, and Halliday a little bit shaken up. We asked him about going to New Mexico, Brock. How many head coaches are going to say, New Mexico? You know, they have real good elk hunting in New Mexico. There's some real monsters out there.
Not many.
You didn't get a chance to get out there and hunt a few with his crossbow.
I think our peers in the industry would vote him the most unorthodox coaches meeting.
Okay.
Would you agree?
Yeah.
Eccentric, I mean, whatever way you want to put it, but he's his own guy. And the folks in the Palouse feel like he is the absolute perfect fit for their program.
Halliday fires a strike complete to Gabe Marks. Just inside that line, and Marks using that sideline well again. In the second year, they won 3 games a season ago. This year on the verge of maybe 7 victories.
You've seen 3 or 4 plays here in the second half, to me in particular, Mark, that this program and Connor and the Cougs don't make a year ago. I mean, that's a throw that you make only because you are so comfortable your receiver is going to get to that spot. The back shoulder fade that we saw, a number of these conversions, it's the rhythm, it's the continuity, it's the anticipation between quarterback and all of his wideouts. That's the growth I think you've seen in the program and why they're on their way to the 7th win.
They run it this time with Caldwell. You know, you talk about the quarterback Halliday and his toughness. You know, 2 years ago, he rallied Washington State past Utah in his first start while playing most of the game. Get this, folks, he played most of the game with a lacerated liver. All right, that's toughness. They get a timeout with 4:32 to go. Sure is a Halliday season today.
Chris Cotter in studio. For those of you looking for the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, we've got Buffalo and San Diego State just now kicking off over on ESPN News. As soon as we get to a conclusion of our game here in New Mexico, we'll send that game back over here to ESPN. Until then, to Mark and Brock in Albuquerque.
All right, Chris, you can catch exclusive live coverage of the Gildan New Mexico Bowl postgame trophy presentation presented by Capital One immediately following the game on ESPN3. We talked about Halliday with that lacerated liver last year. He ended up missing valuable time after that. But a tough guy pulling the trigger at quarterback. This pass incomplete. You talk about their passing prowess today, Brock. 22 first downs, all via the pass today.
It's who they are. I mean, you don't pretend to be. There's something to be said about knowing exactly what your identity is. Yet again, something Coach Davey talked about for both of these programs, that both head coaches have come in, and there is no question who you are. And for Washington State, that is their strength, and you're seeing it played out. Big reason why they've got a 15-point lead.
3rd and 5. Halliday and his receiver Gabe Marks not on the same page. Incomplete 4th down, and Rams are going to get another chance here. I'll tell you this, Halliday is not shy about walking down and
he is not.
getting face-to-face with his teammates. If you're a coach, you have to like that kind of passion, though, don't you?
Well, you know, I was tongue-in-cheek a little bit when I said to Coach Leach that Connor Halliday, does he like the weight room? Because he's very slight. I mean, he can't weigh 190 pounds. And he said, actually, he's our hardest worker. He sets the tone for everybody else. And it gives you, I think, some of that freedom, Mark, when you are the voice, when you are the guy, when you set the tone. It gives you an opportunity to have a little conversation every once in a while with the receiver. When you think it's a throw behind and he runs deep.
You call it a conversation, huh?
Sure.
All right. Welcome back, everyone, to the 2013 Gildan New Mexico Bowl. Washington State on the verge of its 7th win of the season with 4:17 to go. And let's take a look at our Royal Purple focus on performance.
6 touchdown passes later, you are now tied for the all-time single-season record with Ryan Leaf. Took the Cougs to their first Rose Bowl in 65 years, and this isn't a Rose Bowl, but anytime you're in the record books with 34 in a single season, you're doing something right, and Connor has today.
Colorado State needs a quick score here. Grayson, a little bit high, evading the intended receiver. Stops the clock with 4:13 to go.
I like that graphic, by the way. 6 touchdowns to 6 different receivers. When you talk about balance, it was Coach Meacham down there at Houston this season, a disciple of Mike Leach, who said in our system, in this system, Mike Leach's way, balance is how many different guys can touch the football across the field. You know, by that measurement, tremendous balance for the Cougs today.
Pass complete to Joe Hansley, and conversely, on the other side of the field, Coach McElwain building his deal at Colorado State, and it was interesting to listen to his blueprint. Talked about identifying the criteria, define the criteria, and recognize fatal flaws when it comes to recruiting, and they've got some players. And Bibbs, one of them. That was Alexander, though, on the run. What do you make of that whole overall philosophy that he speaks of? And it's got Alabama roots to it, obviously.
It does, but it's very similar for both of these programs in a little different ways. You better identify what kind of athlete you need to fit your scheme. Mike Leach does that. He's got 18 kids right now verbally committed. And for Colorado State, well, you are really having to recruit. You don't get to select as they did at Alabama.
Pass complete to Hansley.
And you have got to recruit, and you have got to clearly define the kind of players you want. And I love what he said. You also got to understand if they've got fatal flaws, no matter what their record is in track record and productivity at the high school level.
Even if they're a 5-star guy?
That's right. Yeah. Well, most of the 5-star guys don't have too many fatal flaws.
That's a good point. That pass complete to Lovett. And Lovett with another Ram first down.
And this, as you said, you better score fast. And you're not even having to really burn any timeouts here. Getting that clock to stop each and every time with a couple chunk passing plays.
It's a 2-score game, and
Washington State.
the Cougars are going to burn one of their 2 remaining timeouts.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
With 3:25 to go. Coach McElwain talking about how he's getting it done at Colorado State. We saw his blueprint, and it was interesting how he said when they were at Alabama, when he was on Nick Saban's staff, part of 2 national championship teams in 2009, 2011, that they would recruit a guy who wasn't previously recruited, and he would jump from a 2-star to a 4 or 5-star as a result of that.
Yeah, I think that's the reputation of Alabama, that I think they maybe have a better track record than some of the recruiting services, and if they think the guy can play, all of a sudden he will shoot from a 1-star to a 4-star. But it's going to be a little different road here for Jim McElwain. He knows it, but he feels like because of the stability above him, Jack Graham, former quarterback for Colorado State, now the athletic director, the president, the folks in Fort Collins that really want to have success, get back to the days of Sonny Lubick where they won a bunch of games, and they're going to give him some of the ammunition from facilities and budgets and recruiting to do so.
They've got some ambitious things in the works there. Grayson completes it to Vaden. Vaden got a nice block from one of his receivers out there from Hansley, and got a few extra yards as a result. Picked up 8 on the play. 2nd down, about 2 to go. 2 timeouts remaining for the Rams. Grayson pulls the trigger complete to his tight end Gilmore. See where they mark his forward progress, right around the 12. More than enough for the 1st down. They get a quick score here, and anything goes.
And look at this. You have not had to burn your timeouts. Look at how quickly they get to the line. You see so many teams waste these precious seconds when the clock is wound. They're wasting none.
Underneath, had it batted down at the line of scrimmage by Nota.
Donnell Alexander
stops the clock with under 3 minutes to go.
Good play there by Nauta. If you're getting blocked, you know, find a way to get into those passing lanes. But this is textbook without burning a timeout and knowing that Mike Leach on the other side, well, he's going to continue to be aggressive. Plenty of time.
Grayson wide open. Touchdown, Colorado State. Vaden with the catch. And they are right back in this game with a little bit of time, just enough time to make something happen. McElwain signals 1. They're not going to go for 2 here.
You don't go for 2 until you have to go for 2. So this is absolutely the right call. And what a tremendous drive by Garrett Grayson. All of the praise that we have heaped on Halliday, rightfully so, even with all the mistakes around him. And teammates letting him down in special teams and fumbles. Look at what Grayson put together on that drive. He's got his Rams within 1 possession.
3rd touchdown catch this season for Vaden. Now, if you're Colorado State, as we take one more look at this touchdown catch. Good hands and lunge. If you're Colorado State, are you even thinking about an onside kick here with a little under 3 minutes? You kick it down and let your defense do the work?
Yeah, I don't think you do at all. You know, the wind has definitely been more at your back here in this quarter. I think you try to do the best you can to kick this ball out of the end zone. You've got 2 timeouts. You've got a guy on the other side of Mike Leach that is going to be unorthodox at handling any situation, end of half, end of game. So, no, I don't think you burden your team at offense if you get the ball back by an onside kick here at all.
But today it's been a record-setting day for Connor Halliday.
And if you're Connor Halliday, you better get on the same page with Gabe Marks and the whole rest of the crew. There better not be any level of indecision there. And know that you've got to find a couple 3rd down conversions here, a couple 1st downs to really wind this clock down.
A chance to run into a lot of the Washington State players at our local hotel, and you know, they were all fired up for this game coming into it, as I'm sure the Colorado State players were. We spoke with them and met with some of them too, but for Washington State, it was a sense where they say, hey, listen, we know that 7-6 looks a lot better than 6-6 on paper. May not sound like much, but it is to us.
Dean Louis for Washington. Number 23, Leon Brooks. And number 34, DeAndre Caldwell.
Got some hands teams guys up front for Washington State. And Colorado State kicks it away. This is Caldwell on the return. And he goes down inside the 20. 1st and 10 with 2:49 to go. The Cougars with 1 timeout remaining. Colorado State with a couple. Well, if there was ever a time that the Rams defense needed to come up with a stop, this is it. And you think about the guys up front, they've done a nice job. Shaquille Barrett, the Mountain West Defensive Conference Player of the Year. One last gasp effort here. Holiday completes it. Lead of about 2 on the play. That was Christoph Williams on the reception, working against Pierre Lewis.
Yeah, and you take the timeouts here because you just don't know what Connor Halliday and Wazoo and Mike Leach is going to do. They're going to take a little bit more risks than everybody else. So this is the right play by Jim McElwain. You take your timeouts now.
Timeout. Colorado State. Second timeout of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout. Please set the game clock to 2:43. 2 minutes, 43 seconds.
Each team now with 1 timeout remaining. 2nd and 8 coming up for the Cougars when they get back to it. And the good thing about a Washington State offense, Brock, and I'm thinking out loud here, is it's tough when you think about being a defender for Colorado State. There is no quote-unquote go-to guy here because they're so balanced.
That's exactly right. And there's no tendency, and they will do and make any call at any point. That's some of the fearlessness, swing the sword of a Mike Leach coached offense.
Here we go, 2nd and 8. Halliday flushed out and caught by Craycraft. Gain of about 2, so it sets up 3rd and maybe 6 coming up. 2:36 to go.
Timeout. Colorado State. 3rd and final timeout of the half.
Craycraft, meanwhile, 9 catches
This is a
for
30-second timeout.
126 yards and a touchdown. Coming down to another compelling finish in last year's Gildan New Mexico Bowl. Nevada taking on Arizona, 4th quarter. Hardison's 25-yard field goal gave Nevada a touchdown lead, 2:20 remaining, and then Arizona storming back. That touchdown pass, then Austin Hill, 46 seconds left. Wildcats within 6. Then Scott found Tyler Slavin in the end zone for the touchdown with 19 seconds remaining, and Arizona won it 49-48. 3rd and 6 here.
One of the best finishes a year ago, and Matt Scott there getting the job done with a couple last possessions. You know that Garrett Grayson on the other side so desperately wants to get the ball back in his hands. And what an enormous 3rd down here.
Boy, look at those wide splits again. 3rd and 6. Little heat coming from the Rams. Pass is caught, and a 1st down at the 31 to Galvin. A huge play and a big win on 3rd down, a gain of 9. And that keeps the offense for Colorado State and Garrett Grayson off the field.
And Colorado State trying to come with some pressure there, and you see Halliday just by a little bit of time, and he retreats and he retreats, and he knows he's got his one-on-one to Galvin all the way. And just like the other 23 1st downs, well, once again by air.
Colorado State out of timeouts. Fumble! Colorado State recovers it. Halliday got ripped, and he coughed it up. Wow! Shaquille Barrett ripped him clean. And Coach McElwain's team is alive with 2:01 to play. A cataclysmic turn of events. But was he down? Let's take one more look.
Yes,
Oh, he
is
might have been
clearly down.
They're going to look at this.
I was just going to say, as unorthodox as Mike Leach is, this has to be 3 consecutive runs. And of course, he decides to run zone read, or Halliday makes the choice to pull it. That's got to be looked at. That left knee clearly on first view there looks down for Halliday.
They're going to look at this.
Ruling on the field was a fumble recovered by the defense. The previous play is under further review.
Let's take one more look.
And is the ball coming out in any way before that knee comes down? No, I don't think it is. I think that left knee is down. You don't see any movement with the football here. Excellent job by Barrett that is trying to rip. But do you see the ball in his right arm move at all before the left knee comes down?
Barrett is actually blocking the ball, so it could be coming loose there.
But watch, even now, watch the next frame. And as you continue on, it's not moving until he rips it out of there. I think he is clearly down by contact with the left knee.
Well, the ruling on the field was a fumble. Maybe another one of the tricks of the trade that Barrett learned from NFLer and graduate assistant coach Joey Porter on staff there now.
And I really wonder if that's Halladay, all the freedom we've talked about that he has at the line of scrimmage to check and to make all the plays. I wonder if that was some of the freedom that he has to pull that ball out and to try to run with it.
There's 2:01 to go on the clock. 45-37, and they're looking at this play. The ruling on the field is a fumble, and Colorado State football. But from what we saw in the replay, it appears as if quarterback Connor Halladay, who ran with the ball and was stripped, was actually down before the ball came loose. It's not like we've been right 100% of the time, though, this year.
Well, speak for yourself, Mark. But you just did not see any part of that ball moving whatsoever. It did not start to move until that knee was down and he's ripping. I think a lot of this conversation now is about the clock and where that was at and what you're going to do and when does it wind and when does it start. Because remember, Colorado State has burned every one of their timeouts.
Taking a long and close look at this play. Here's how it transpired.
Yeah, I really think that that's Halladay having the freedom because and I don't care how eccentric you are.
Will Coach take
Connor
that freedom away
Halladay
now?
running the ball on Shaquille Barrett, that one-on-one in a zone read, that is not the play of choice. But I do think that that left knee was down before Barrett could fully rip the ball out of the grasp of Halladay, and I would expect your next couple runs here are not going to be Connor Halladay.
So you're guessing that he gets his running license revoked here late in the game,
Well,
right?
typically when you've rushed for a negative 125 yards on the season, you don't get a lot of opportunities with the game on the line.
Right now they've got the ball spotted at the 33-yard line of Washington State. And it's Colorado State ball. That was the ruling on the field, a turnover on the fumble. Some agonizing moments for second-year head coach McElwain. Let's bring in SEC Coordinator of Officials Steve Shaw. Steve, what are they looking for and what are they looking at right now, your guess?
So obviously the first thing was the player down, and I think y'all have made your own judgment, and I think they're going to overturn this. I hate to even make a judgment, but I think there's no question. What's taking so long here, they've got to be very precise because we've moved the chains, we reset everything as Colorado State ball. So now we've got to go back, make sure we get the right spot, get the chain set exactly where they are, the down right, the clock right, and then get it set, ready to go. Right. So you know, it's killing me that we're taking this long, but they want to get it right, and they will get it right. I'm confident.
Right, a lot more than meets the eye as opposed to just making the call and the determination as to whether it was a fumble or not. Then.
Steve, come on. Just morph over to the broadcast side. It's fun to have a little opinion. Don't hate to do it.
After further review, the runner was down prior to losing the ball. Therefore, it'll be 2nd and 10 at the 31-yard line. The clock will start and ready for play.
Steve, how do they reconcile the clock and the spotting of the ball and those things?
So once we get it set here, what you're going to see, the play clock will go to 25 seconds, but we'll wind the play clock. So if Washington State wants to, they can run another 25 seconds off of this clock before they snap the ball.
Yeah, you have to do it. And if they snap this with any time, that is unbelievable.
But they would snap it that quickly, and they get stoned. And from another fumble, back-to-back fumbles, and this one recovered by Colorado State.
Wow.
No doubt about that one. Shaquille Barrett said, "This time you're not going to get me." Incredible that they would put it on the ground in consecutive plays.
Well, first of all, incredible that you snapped the ball with 20 seconds left on the play clock. Secondly, that's Lau Ufasa, the short yardage back. And give all the credit in the world once again to Barrett. I mean, that is all Shaquille Barrett. And the technique in the want-to rip, and, well, he nearly got it the first time. He gets Lau Ufasa the second time.
And look where they've got the ball,
Incredible.
right exactly at the same spot they would have before, at the 33-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Rams. No timeouts remaining. Grayson fires. And it's caught by Vaden. He had the touchdown catch to bring them to within 8. A gain of 7 on the play, 2nd and 3.
End of game mechanics, so critical and can be so costly, especially in these bowl games.
Grayson, Vaden was running before he made the catch that time, and it's incomplete. Stops the clock with 1:27 to go.
And there you see a little of the counter body language. He's giving the thumbs up to Vaden. He's got some guys around him right now that are thrust into some roles they haven't been this season, and a very calming influence from the junior Grayson.
They run it. Bibbs right up the middle. Down to the 17-yard line. Capri Bibbs with a big day. He's gone for over 150 yards on the day. Got 9 that time. 1:19 to go. Grayson fires incomplete at the 10. He tried to hit his tight end, Gilmore. Stops the clock with 1:16 to go. 2nd and 10 coming up.
76 seconds to go here. You obviously need to score in the 2-point conversion. My mindset, get it to my best players.
But Bibbs is coming off the field right now. Alexander comes in for him.
And that is a pass protection. He is not nearly the pass protector that Alexander is. You've got to find now a way to get it to Cartwright, to Gilmore, your go-to guys in the red zone.
Vaden split to the bottom of your screen. He's been the go-to guy in the second half. They go his way. He's got some real estate ahead of him. And Vaden steps out of bounds at about the 11-yard line with 1:09 to go. About 3 yards short of the first down.
What a
Close
play.
to 8 there.
And what a play once again from Barrett on back-to-back plays on 1st and 2nd down to rip the football first away from Holiday. Secondly, from Lau Ufasa, putting his offense in a position to take advantage.
Bibbs is back in the game now in the backfield. Vaden split to the bottom of your screen into the boundary.
Favorable run numbers. Could be a run.
It is with Bibbs. Made a nice move, makes it down to the 2-yard line. 1st and goal on the 8-yard run by Capri Bibbs. And that's the guy that set it all up. First and goal. Bibbs stopped short at about the 1-yard line.
Plenty of time. Wazoo going to do their best to lay on Bibbs.
They
See
sure
Monroe
are.
there.
All of a sudden, they can't get off the ground.
No need to panic. Plenty of time.
They need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. 40 seconds to go. No timeouts remaining for Colorado State. Bibbs again. Fumbled it, but he was in. Touchdown. Two points away from tying it. That's his third rushing touchdown today. And Shaquille Barrett set it all up with that rip. Was he in before he fumbled?
Well, it doesn't matter because right there in the continuous action, he recovers it. Here you go.
For the tie. Alexander in the backfield. And Washington State calls timeout.
Third and final timeout of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
All right, we're going to bring in Steve Shaw one more time here to bring in an explanation on that last play and that fumble and the fumble forward. Steve, clarify all that for us.
Yeah, so anytime a runner fumbles the ball, fumbles it forward, he can go recover it himself. The only really issue there would be if it were a fourth down play, then only the player who fumbles could then recover it. If any other player recovered it, then we'd bring it back to the spot where he fumbled. So, but it was not fourth down play. Clearly, he could go get that ball, and he did. Good play.
Hey, Steve, did you expect this much action today?
I did not. I thought it would be a nice day in the booth.
33 seconds to go, and now it turns to the play call selection of Coach McElwain's staff. Well, what do you do? Who do you go to, Brock? They got Vaden, who's been a hot guy. Bibbs has done a nice job. This is for the time. Hensley and Vaden split to the bottom of your screen. They hand it off. Alexander, did he get there? No signal. He didn't make it. He extended that arm, tried to hit the pylon, and came up short. It looked like the old Boise State play.
It's exactly what it was. It was the Bronco Statue of Liberty, something we saw at the walkthrough yesterday.
One more look.
Sure did. Ooh, and I think you get away with maybe a little bit of hold on the edge.
Ooh,
and Steve, your job's not done yet.
Great look here. Oh, geez. Boy, that was inches away. Close. The ruling on the field is that he did not make it.
Ruling on the field is that the try was short of the goal line. The previous play is under further review.
It's going to be good. I mean, you hit the pylon. You see this all the time. There's no body part that is out of bounds. He extends. He hits that pylon, the plane. Mark, that's going to be good for 2 points. And what a call there. For all the credit for Mike Leach of being a little unorthodox, you take Bibbs off the field. I can't imagine that not being counted as good.
That is an incredible.
He's in control when he has the ball, when it hits the pylon.
What an effort by Alexander.
What a call. A Statue of Liberty on the 2-point conversion.
A Boise State, Oklahoma flashback on that play. And Alexander got his shoulder squared just enough and made that last gasp lunge for the end zone and obviously hit the pylon with the football. And they're taking a long, close look at this one. Here's the ruling.
After further review, the runner did penetrate the goal line with the ball, therefore the try is good.
And we're tied at 45. Wow. It was all set up by that fumble and the rip more by Shaquille Barrett. He made the play of the game right here for Colorado State, ripping the ball loose. And then the touchdown run by Bibbs. And then the 2-point run and the dive into the end zone by Alexander. Taking flight and hitting that pylon at the last moment.
Is there a better way to kick off bowl season?
I would say no.
We're 4 hours in. We may be here another hour.
45 all. And if you're Washington State right now, you've got to be disheartened in the sense, Brock, that you had this game. This was won.
No, you can't think that way whatsoever. If you're Connor Halliday in this offense, you're thinking, well, right now there's 33 seconds. You're also thinking, just get this return to the 30-yard line. As prolific as you are in your passing game, as much as you challenge this Colorado State defense in the air all afternoon, it starts at the return here. But if you're Connor Halliday, 33 seconds, well, just like you saw your counterpart on the other side do, if you get those first downs and move the chains, clock stops in 33 seconds with your kicker, gives you an opportunity to still get into field goal range.
Andrew Fernie has a career long of 60 yards. On the return, this is Caldwell. And he had it come loose. Another fumble! Washington State literally fumbling this game away. The Rams recover it inside the 20. A colossal meltdown in the dying moments of the game by the Cougars. Caldwell had it punched loose, no doubt about that one. Another fumble.
And that's Stephen Michael, the backup linebacker. And the words of Jim McElwain are resonating in my head right now. What he said to us yesterday. Our team has learned in these moments, Mark, for times like this.
He talked about how his team has defined the margin that exists between being able to get over the hump, between being able to close games out. And that's where they are right now.
It's the line that you wrote down, that I wrote down, that everybody in the meeting wrote down yesterday. The teams like Freddy Krueger, that's who this Colorado State team is. And all of us looked at him kind of dumbfounded. Well, what do you mean by that? It means you can't kill him. Can't kill him. It's a 15-point game with 4 minutes to go, right? Leading receiver for Colorado State, he's out. Your set tailback's Gimpy. You're up 15 if you're Washington State. And as Jim McElwain said, well, like Freddy Krueger, you cannot kill us. They drive it down, they're efficient, they operate, they get the fumble. And now because of the fumble on the kickoff return, well, you're in field goal range taking this one from Washington State.
In all likelihood, this one comes down to the toe of their place kicker, Roberts. 27 seconds to go. And they play it conservatively. Bibbs protecting that football with two hands. Stopped up right near the line of scrimmage.
Well, now you better hurry. Get everybody set. You can't afford any penalty here, any false start or anything. Get everybody set. And you've got to spike the ball and give yourself a chance for that game-winning field goal.
7 seconds to go. And they spike it and stop the clock with 4 seconds to go. And in comes Jared Roberts to cap what would be a miraculous turnaround and a signature win for Colorado State in this, the second year of Jim McElwain's tenure. He's 20 of 23 on the season, Jared Roberts. An unlikely, implausible, like almost impossible ending. Trying to put a period on it here. Roberts from 41. Got it! It's over! And the Rams run roughshod in the dying moments to steal it. You may never see another set of circumstances come together in a perfect storm and turn around the way you saw tonight.
Meltdown on one side, mayhem on the other. For a program, Mike or Mark, that may have just found itself.
Wow.
And there you see Jack Graham, the athletic director of Colorado State, the big-time visionary here, giving the hug to Jim McElwain, who looked you and me and the rest of our crew dead in the eye. And his last comments to us yesterday were, I don't care how we do it, we're going to get it done. And Colorado State, in the final 4 minutes, they got it done.
You're right, Brock. It would be a disservice to say that it was all a meltdown by Washington State. This Colorado State team scoring 18 points in the last 2 minutes and 52 seconds. And their effort defined in large part by Shaquille Barrett. When you think about him ripping the ball loose not once but twice, and capped by this 41-yard field goal by Roberts, his career high 4th, and good enough for the victory.
You overcame penalties, you overcame interceptions, you overcame fumbles because you continued to play to the final whistle. You consistently believed. You put up 594 yards of offense. Mark, I watched their walkthrough yesterday. I don't know the last time I have ever seen a coach prepare every situation imaginable as Jim McElwain did yesterday. They walked through all of those. They walked through a 2-point conversion. They walked through fake punts. They walked through everything that they then went out and executed today to get this win.
Well, today's Capital One player of the game is Capri Bibbs. 168 rush yards, 3 touchdowns on 27 carries, playing with a badly injured toe, had turf toe, had that reinforced steel plate on the bottom of his shoes to help him run. And they get their 8th win of the season in what will be one of the most memorable wins maybe in all of their bowl history.
Welcome to college football bowl season.
34 more bowl games to go, folks. There's our final score. Coming up next, the Idaho Potato Bowl between Buffalo and San Diego State, which is currently on ESPN 3. ESPN News. Happy holidays so long from Albuquerque. Let's go out to Boise for the famous Idaho Potato